Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to have a special segment talking about the recent incident in Britain that a group of Chinese overseas students painted, whitewashed first, and then painted the socialist values, slogans, or propaganda onto the walls in Britain. And that's Brick Lane incident became like incited a big discussion in China. I'm not sure how big of an impact it's in the English-speaking world, but it was regarded as a confrontation directly, a very visual way to display the socialist core values versus people who hold different views. And then you can see all that confrontation on this wall. And so I'm going to cover all the 12 values or expressions, all made up of 2 Chinese characters, to take a closer look at the values. And of course, like language, from the language perspective of how these originally Western concepts was imported and translated into Chinese. So it's a cultural response to that. Okay, so today's expression, Wen Ming, is civilization. Okay, as a civilization itself, I would imagine this is a contemporary translation, that the language itself or the civilization using the language itself would not necessarily know it's a civilization, right? To understand it's a civilization, you have to be in front of another civilization, and then you realize, oh, we actually have a very unique set of civilizations. So this is obviously after the Western, Eastern, I mean, if we simplify only the East and West, interaction, or at least they are interfacing. Then there is, because the exploration of the navigation age, right, started the 16th or 17th century, and then the Westerners are the first, one of the first, I guess, the Polynesians as well, like ocean faring, and then explore and therefore come in contact with another civilization. So this civilization, this study of another, or anthropology, right, study of another civilization, then become like more acutely aware because of this confrontation, or interacting, or interfacing with another civilization. Then you're aware, okay, you're actually one of the civilizations, right? So this civilization, this concept came from the first explorers of there. But I guess, I don't know, in ancient China, there are the seafaring big endeavor as well, right? There were this trade at the Silk Road, best known, and other like seafaring endeavors that do have at least a trade on a trade level of Chinese culture, Chinese civilization, Chinese merchandise, exchange with another, goodies from other places on the planet. So there happened before. So maybe this Wenming concept was invented before, but even if we just look at it from a translation perspective of civilization as a Westerner concept, because this is kind of a definition of defining a group of people, civilization holders, in face of another one, right? Then even if we just look at it as a translation perspective, like, okay, Chinese originally don't have this concept, and then sometime in the history, when this concept was imported, have to do this translation. And then this is the survivor. I'm pretty sure there are multiple different versions of translation of civilization. Just like yesterday, we talked about democracy. Used to be the sound translation, and then that doesn't fly because you have to then explain to people what exactly that means, right? Then this meaning translation, thematic mapping from one culture, from one language to another, transferring of this concept by mapping out the meaning, find the closest in another culture, that has a better chance of survival. So Wenming is such a meaning translation based on the best capture and using only 2 characters in Chinese to capture the concept of civilization. So that's why it's kind of fun to unpack, to see whoever came up with this, and it ended up as the winner of all the translations of civilization that we're using today. And for me, I inherit this. I was taught Wenming means civilization, or actually I learned Wenming first, and then learned English. Okay, that's civilization. Now looking back of what's passed to me, and then unpack it. And today I'm very excited to share with you, because it's really illuminating to me of how civilization was defined. Okay, Wen means text. It came from this. Okay, yesterday we showed, 2 days ago, we showed this chimney on top of an arch, which is a space signifier. So here is a kind of semi-arch thing, but with a chimney on the top. You can view the chimney as a human head or just a chimney. So it's a signifier to show it's a human touch thing. It's artificial, it's built, it's man-made. So something man-made, and then there's this crossing line. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a stylized. It may came from different forms before it. So this cross of style lines over there means, I mean, try to capture the cracking of languages. I mean, the strokes of language occurring on the turquoise shell. Is it called a turquoise? Okay, the animal shells that carried over time, right? So that was the original carrier. Or in today's age, we save, we store information digitally, right? In the past, it was carved onto the stone, or carved or molded into a bronzeware. The written form probably rotten over time, easier. And what's left also this carved into the turtle shell. And that crossing, this was used to capture the crackings shown on the turtle shell. That is the carrier of the language, the text, the written language. So Wenming civilization, in the Chinese definition, it has to have its written form of the language, have to have the text. And I just want to remind you, or make the connection for you, that this Google Translate icon that you must have come across if you ever try to, have a curiosity of another language. This is the icon of text in Chinese, of course. I mean, here probably is Japanese, but in any case, it means text is another. In Google Translate, it's like, it looks so dramatically different from letter A, right? Sound-based. This one, this image-based, is icon. It has the 2D form of representation of a reality of something, right? At least a representation or abstraction. So in this case, it's quite abstract. I have to explain to you to make sense. Oh, that means text. It's artificial trademark on the turtle shell. That's the information carrier back then. So that's the text. And you can see Chinese as a culture really value the written form of text. And that's kind of the essence, the core, like how you define yourself as a civilization has to be through this, generational inheritance of text. And with the text, the language, that's not only just the information, but values, right? The how to live, or how to interact with nature or with each other. So all that teachings encoded in the text or passed on in the written form. So that's the essence, right? The carrier of civilization. And the Ming means illuminate. So on the right side, well, in contemporary, it's easy. It's the sun, it's the moon. So sun plus moon is, shining, is illuminating. But the ancient forms, this means bright as well. I don't exactly know why, because I know the bottle form of bright. Okay. Idea just hit me, but it gets a little bit complicated to explain that way. But it gave me some idea of what it potentially could mean. Anyways, this pretty abstract looking thing means bright, means something is, it has a light source to it. And you can almost view it as, because the light source before electricity, right, comes from the sun. That's the only light source. Well, candles, yes, but it's a smaller scale. For the major light source, it has to come from the sky. And in Chinese, sky is one horizontal line on top of the frame. So here the sky is not there. So that means it's the nighttime. But nighttime, you still have this, this looking thing. So I don't know the full story context yet. Idea just hit me. But in later interpretations, scholars study this for a long time, said this means bright, and the moon. So with the moon there, you can almost be sure this is nighttime light, because in the daytime there's nothing to illuminate about. Like light comes as a given. In the daytime, you don't even think about lighting, right? It's the nighttime when you lose that light source in the sky you took as a given in the daytime, then things need to be illuminated. And it's, I guess, illuminate simply just means you have that light source in darkness. And with that process of having the light get away from the dark, that illuminate almost, I guess, in both cultures, have that sense of, it's illuminating, it's like making sense, because before making sense, before we can see things, it's all dark. We have no understanding or no visibility to something, right? Until you have the light source, until you have this illumination, you're in the dark, right? In the dark, in the sense of you don't know something, and you simply don't know if you don't know, right? You're in the dark. So this light in both cultures means you gain understanding of something. So text, the information carrier, and this illumination, this information, I guess, extraction or understanding or retrieving, combined, it means the information storage, right? And the information discovery, both combined to mean civilization. And I guess civilization is, yeah, encoded in some form, preserved somewhere, and help the future generations to understand something. And that's the Chinese translation of this text-based understanding of the world. And so that's the core of what civilization is about. All right, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.